area. On the left of your screen, Nick Collins. He is playing Esper Control, as he always does. And on the right is Mackenzie Fowler, who is playing Mono Black, as we are also very accustomed to seeing him play.
Yes, this is pretty well the only decks you ever see them play. Except for at F&M and stuff, you'll see Mackenzie kind of mess around and play whatever he thinks is fun that week, or whatever he can borrow sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So he doesn't always like to just go back to the Mono Black, but in competitive tournaments or in like any tournament that he takes seriously, he's Mono Black all the way.
Oh yeah.
So Mackenzie now with a Thoughtseize on turn 2. Of course, he led with a Tempo turn 1. Trying to get a bit of information, see what the best card to take away is. Nick does have a win condition in his hand. He's got a Revelation. It looks like he's going for the D-Sphere here. Now this might signify a Pack Rat.
It probably means he's going to untap and play a Pack Rat.
Which, of course, Nick can't actually play around with this untapped land.
No.
So Mackenzie has the Pack Rat in hand. No.
Didn't play.
Mackenzie doesn't have another land. So hurting for certain for Mackenzie. You think Nick is going to shock this land in and have dissolves up?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Besides, it's just worth it. Plus, I think you dissolve almost anything he plays here. You definitely dissolve.
Yeah.
You're missing land drops. You need to find land, and plus, him Thoughtseizing you means that he gets to take your Rev or your Elspeth.
Yeah,
or something
plus
like
he has
that.
the second dissolve. So
exactly.
There's no reason not to.
Well, Jace Memory Adept comes off the top for Nick, but Nick does not have a 4th land here. Here is a Lifebane Zombie, and that is going to be snapped off with a dissolve as well. All right, there is a land, and a very, very quick scry to the top.
Scry and played instantly, yeah.
So I'm assuming that means that we got another land on top coming for Nick.
Most likely.
So 4 mana for Mackenzie. Do you Underworld here, or do you Desecration Demon?
I would always Underworld here. I mean, you just watched him burn 3 of his counterspells. You thought sees him at the start. You don't know how many counterspells he's got left. And the Underworld just is a permanent card that's going to sit there for quite some time and win you the game. The Desecration Demon is less likely to win you the game into 4 mana.
Now, it's worth noting that Nick actually doesn't have double white here. So he cannot Verdict.
It's a possibility that's why Mackenzie slammed the Desecration Demon instead.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the mana, but that would be like a green light for Mackenzie to slam a demon.
Yeah. No double white, and he saw his hand, so he knows that he knew there was none coming. Unless he top-decked it, which he didn't. He top-decked an island instead. And it looks like Nick is just saying go here. This is not where the control deck wants to be. Taking a smack from a demon on turn 5 or 6 or whatever it is. I think it's turn 6. It's hard to tell with both players missing land drops.
Yeah, you just jam your Underworld here.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he didn't counter the demon, he probably isn't going to counter your Underworld.
Yeah, and Nick is not happy about this, so he's going to Revelate for 2 here. So he's going to pick up a couple of lands, so he did need those. So that's good for him, and I believe he picked up a second copy of Elspeth. So here is the other white mana, and he is just going to cast a Supreme Verdict. Get that demon off of the table and try and preserve Elspeth, but I almost feel like it was better just to play the Elspeth.
I would have jammed the Elspeth there, absolutely. I mean, you lose it right away to the vault, but that ties up 2 of Mackenzie's
mana, if you down
which could be relevant.
You could also just uptick it and
you could also just
demon
uptick it
fodder.
and fog it forever. That's probably the better option altogether, yeah.
So here comes another Desecration Demon. So I think Nick is actually in a better position than he thinks he is now. He's not
by the sound of him, he sounds like thinks he's about to get wrecked, but he's actually in a good spot here.
He's kind of cringing a bit at what's going on. Well, there's Elixir of Immortality. That could help out a bit. Alright, so right now I don't see any reason to not just play Elspeth.
No, just jam her down.
Yeah, here it comes. There she is. So we'll see if he ups or downs. I personally just up it.
Yeah, he sees the same line you got there. Just up him and make demon fodder.
Yep. Using the panda tokens.
He likes his pandas.
He does like the panda tokens. So there are 3 1/1s in play. This is going to be Hero's Downfall, most likely.
Yep.
There it is. Get out of here. Now,
He does have a Thoughtseize in
Mackenzie
hand.
could fire this Thoughtseize off here and take away the second Elspeth, and that could cause some real problems.
Yeah, and he's almost certainly going to do that.
Yeah, there's almost no reason not to. He didn't attack with the Mutavault, which really signifies it. There's
Yeah.
Thoughtseize. Oh, there's an elixir. There's an elixir too. I think Nick's trying to bait him into it.
I think you just take the Elspeth here, though, and I think Mackenzie will take it.
There is a Jace main board. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nick has been a big fan of the one of memory adaptation in his main deck.
Well, I mean, there's enough other control decks floating around that it's kind of worth it.
Yeah, Hero's Downfall to pick up for Nick. Well, there's a pretty cut and dry demon answer.
Yep, that'll do it.
And he can also just play Elixir, but it looks like he's just going to play
He's just going to jam the Jace in. But he doesn't have to deal with that demon yet anyway.
No. And now this is something interesting. He's choosing to mill 10 here. I'm not 100% sure I like milling 10 right away. I almost like just playing it, getting a card out of it. Because if Mackenzie was just like, kill it, then it basically got you no value by milling him.
Yeah. But he sees this as his only win condition that he has left, right?
True. But he does have the elixir. It's also worth noting he didn't play the elixir.
Yeah.
Which means that it is vulnerable to a Thoughtseize. Looks like we're going to see a chump on Mutavault. Here's Night Veil Spectre, and that is a heck of a card in this matchup.
Yeah, especially Mackenzie has the blue mana available, so a lot of Nick's cards will be available for Mackenzie to play. He's even got double blue on board at the moment.
Yeah. So here's a mill again. Nick is way more aggressive with this Jace than I would have been. I like drawing cards off this Jace. I usually draw cards for 2 to 3 turns, and then start milling them when I know my Jace is protected.
It's also worth noting, he only hit one Grey Merchant off of that.
Off of the last 2 mills, yeah.
And if Mackenzie slams one here, he kind of wins the game.
I think he has one in hand, does he? No, that's a Devour Flesh, never mind. So Nick is giving Mackenzie's deck a count.
Cursory counts, probably like 28.
20. 20 cards exactly, so it is a 2-turn clock off of the Jace.
Yeah,
but the Jace is going down here. Okay, so this is exactly what Nick wanted. He's only sending 2 of the creatures at Jace, so he's not guaranteed killing it here because of the downfall. And Mackenzie gets Nick's top card, and it's a Rev.
That's a cute one.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate for Nick there. And here's a pack rat. Just because.
Yeah.
Nick really wants a verdict right about now to clean up the board a bit here. So he's going to sack the elixir to try and stabilize his life total.
He does need a verdict, though, or Mackenzie just untaps and kills him, I think. 3 pack rats in a vault.
Yeah.
11.
Oh,
That'll do it.
Vanishing Light on pack rat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he had asked if he had 2 mana, and then Mackenzie realized he had 3.
Yeah, so...
With the correction, he just changed targets, which makes sense.
Yeah. And here's a mill. Where are the Grey Merchants?
He's hit one. There's two.
No, I think there was another one in that pile. I think it was the card that stuck together
Oh,
when he
maybe.
flipped two.
Okay.
I think one of those was a Gray Merchant. 10 left. There's still at least one Merchant in the deck.
Yeah.
End of
And
turn.
Mackenzie sees the math here.
Here's a rat. Nick has no way to stop this either, I don't think.
He is dead on board. If Mackenzie sees the play, which
He should.
I'm certain he will. As soon as he adds the numbers together, he'll most likely go, oh, look.
Yeah, there's Mutavault. Oh, wait a minute. No, he's sending the Mutavault at Jace. So wait now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, the math is off. It's one short.
Yep.
Because it's
I was forgetting the third rat can't attack.
Yeah. It's one short of lethal.
Mostly just me being dumb and not counting pack rats. Leave it to Mackenzie to show me up. It's pretty standard standard fare.
So he kills the Jace.
Yeah.
And Nick did not draw a sweeper. And Mackenzie is going to take game 1 over Esper Control. And that was a prime example of why I don't like just going straight to the middle plane with Jace. I think Nick needed to get a couple extra cards before he started going
if
to
he had
that.
drawn through a few cards there and used Jace just to go up a couple times, he might have got to the answer. He needed a little quicker.
Yep. There are a lot of people that think that Jace is a one ability planeswalker, that one in particular, but it's really far from it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and also, like, you don't play your Elspeth and try to win from an empty hand. So you don't play your Jace and try and win from an empty hand. You don't really try to throw your threats with nothing left in hand to protect it.
You need to use your Jace to try and restock yourself.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If you play the Jace, if Nick played the Jace there, if he plussed it even once, guess what? Mackenzie would not have flipped a Sphinx's Revelation and Night Veil Spectre.
Yeah.
Nick would have got it in his hand.
Yep. And that's just the once. He would have been 3 extra cards deeper aside from that.
Yeah, so that's just an example. Now, again, there is no way for Nick to know. There's no way for any of us to know. As like I said earlier, hindsight's 20/20.
No, but I mean, like
still,
sitting behind the control list, I don't want to throw my win condition into a board of threats with an empty hand.
Yeah, and then try to win with it.
Right? I'm going to use that card instead to try and draw cards.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the other thought as well, if that had been the other Jace, the one that's normally ran as a 4 of...
The Architect?
Yeah, he would have drawn all the way down to his Rev.
Yeah.
Before Pack Rat even came online and may have a counter.
Yeah, he would have minused it almost assuredly.
Yeah.
Pack Rat proving once again that it's a pretty good card.
So, as always, I'm going to be really curious here if we get to see a Rev get blown out by an Ocean Thief.
I would like to see that, just because it would be so
It's
funny.
really fun to watch, but you feel like horrid when you're like, Sphinx's Rev? Oh, I only get to gain 5 life, and you get 5 cards.
I have Notion Thiefed people's Revs before. The look on their face is just like... They feel absolutely mortified when you...
And, I mean, playing against a black deck, you don't usually expect it.
No.
I don't know how familiar Nick is with the blue in there, if he's going to try and play around an Ocean Thief, but it's a one of. You
was that a serious...
don't want to.
Hang on. Was that a serious judge call?
That was him trying to look at his card. Was trying to
Don't do that fakingly. Okay, so...
What game are you guys on?
2.
How's it going? So wide is up 1 game in the other match.
Yeah.
Also, Wyatt pushed up playing Simic.
Prophet Salini. Couldn't play it.
Because he knew his deck wouldn't be good enough.
So we'll see if Nick can pull it back now. The biggest thing about this particular matchup is that post-board, the mono black deck, gets to tune their deck so incredibly well for this
I
matchup.
believe there's 9 cards in the board
Yeah,
for this
so
matchup in particular. But
it's very dangerous.
it could amount to.
Does
at
Nick
some
have a
point.
Brimaz in his hand?
That's an interesting one to bring in.
Nick does have a Brimaz.
I know from playing against him, he likes to board into a lot of creatures after board.
Yeah.
But
There's a reason that when I play him in the control mirror, I leave 2 verdicts in just in case.
I think he's about to not have a Ramaz.
Unless Mackenzie has a removal spell.
He
In which case he probably
borders
just
them
takes the
all out.
Syncopate.
But he may just take the ultimate price here and jam a pack rat again.
That could be a winning line.
Nope, Ramaz.
No, he's going after Brimaz.
He sees the 2 answers to pack rat, figures it's just going to be last game all over again where it just gets killed on turn 2 with a syncopate or whatever and just ignores it.
You know, it's kind of funny. Brimaz is a card I completely forgot about when I was preparing my post-rotation deck. Brimaz doesn't rotate.
No,
And that card's really good.
Yeah.
And I think now would be the time to get him because he's not that expensive right now, I don't think.
There's going to be a slight problem with some of those lower drops like Ramaz though, with the double same colored symbols on them. It could be. It depends on how
Maybe,
good your
but
mana
maybe
base
not.
is.
Like I think the mana bases with the Tri-lands and the Scry lands and the fetch lands
That's
and all
true.
that, I think that the mana bases are going to be relatively stable in standard for cards like that.
Yeah. But I mean, the other thing is, most of the stuff you just said comes into play tapped, and Brimaz on turn 3 is good, but Brimaz on turn 4 might not be very good.
Yes, but just because your first 2 lands come into play tapped doesn't mean that your third has to.
That's true.
I mean, you will be playing a reasonable number of basics because of fetch lands.
Yeah, that's true as well. And Mackenzie is just on the
He's
Vault you plan.
he is mutavaulting him.
which when you've got 2 and you know he's got ultimate price syncopate in hand, you might as well just play Mutavaults.
Mutavault is a good card against control decks. And Mutavault is just a good card.
Yep.
Another one that a lot of people are looking forward to rotating. Besides, you know, Pack Rat and Sphinx's Rev.
I'm most
and
looking to Vault rotating because it's a 2 of in every deck that you want to play.
It's a 2 of in
Minimum.
It's a 2 of in the majority of decks, and in most of the decks that it's not a 2 of, it's a 4 of.
Yeah. It's like you can't actually play a deck that doesn't have Mutavaults in it.
No, exactly. Now, mind you, John Rabble doesn't have Mutavaults in it, but
That's fair.
that's because John Rabble is a 23-land, 3-color deck.
Yeah, that's just testy.
Here comes Elspeth. Let's try and stave the Mutavaults off a little bit here. This is where Mackenzie untaps, and he's just like, yeah, Bioblight. See a duress drawn for Mackenzie.
Well, now he's got a great chance to throw out whatever he wants, right? He can throw his pack rat out, duress away the ultimate price he knows he has.
Or he could just Night Veil
He could
Spectre.
he could just jam a Night Veil Spectre, which dodges both of those spells as well.
Does not dodge the Banishing Light, though.
No.
Which Nick has in his hand. I believe he just drew a second copy of. And you see Nick is going to snap Banishing Light.
Yeah. And this is the problem with the Mutavault plan. It's just too slow. I mean, you see him, he's on 8,
Yeah.
but now he's fine.
Yeah, he's on 8, but now he's stable.
Yeah.
Looks like Wyatt Slaney moves on to the finals, the Jund Rabble deck. I'm proud of my Jund Rabble deck.
Chris Rebels. Chris Total's Rebels.
I mean, I managed to draw off Heffernan with you last night with the Jund Rabble deck, and
Yep.
so that deck's no joke.
No, well, I mean, the Jund deck was good anyway. I think Rattle Master was a fantastic addition, just because it lets you pull your curve down from 7
Absolutely.
to, like, 5.
Uh-oh. So I think this is the nail in the coffin here.
Oh, is that a Blood Baron?
That's a Blood Baron that Nick just drew.
Yeah, and you can pretty well count on Mackenzie having sided out the Devourer Flushes. Not to mention he would
even
need
if he-
7
yeah.
of them right now to be relevant.
10, in fact.
Yeah,
3 more
now
tokens
it's 10,
just
yeah.
came in, yeah. So it looks like Nick's not even going to deploy it. He's just going to keep his counter spells open.
Well, I mean, next turn
yeah.
he goes Ultimate Elspeth, I win.
Exactly. The Elspeth is just going to kill Mackenzie next turn
Yeah.
anyway. Here's a duress.
Now he gets to see, even if you kill my
You see, Nick just shows the hand like, yeah, go for it, bro. Look what I have. You're not winning.
No, I would say we're on to a game 3 here pretty quickly.
Unless Mackenzie has a Hero's Downfall in his hand.
And 10 Devour Flashes.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, what he needs to do, what he needs exactly right now is Urborg or another Swamp, take Syncopate, and then play a Downfall.
Yeah.
So here's a Lifebane Zombie.
Zombie would be nice.
He just takes the Blood Baron. I think you Syncopate there just because.
I think Nick's just feels that
But
he's
Nick
won the
knows
game right
Nick
now.
knows that he's won.
Yeah.
The game
is enough to kill him.
Yeah, 7 threes is 21, so you're dead. And we're on to game 3. So, 1 game apiece for these players. Mono Black versus Esper Control. Players talking about Mutavaults and
Yeah.
that is a little bit of a scary card.
Well, the problem is it's too slow. It's great for dodging the verdict and getting in the last 6 points of damage, but to start and just go pure vaults, they're just going to jam an Elspeth and you're going to lose the game. That's basically exactly what watched just happen.
Yeah, exactly. After Mackenzie couldn't go in on the Mutavaults anymore, there was almost just no follow-up for him.
Yeah, he did nothing. He played a pack rat, it sat there. He made a second rat, it also sat there, and then threw out a Lifebane Zombie to lose the game after that.
Yeah.
Did Mackenzie Notion yet? Oh.
He has not.
He did it earlier today, apparently.
Can you guys hear us in there? Okay. Let you talk.
What?
Never mind. Let you guys can hear us or something.
All the people playing?
Yeah.
When you guys are in the back room, we can hear you.
Oh.
We can hear you, the stream can't.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Since we can't control what gets said back there, we don't allow the feature match to be on the stream in terms of the audio, but we hear it to ease commentary.
Yeah, well, it helps us sometimes to know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
Cause
like it helps for like the name on a Pithing Needle or the name on a
stuff like
Slaughter Games or things like that, right? So
sometimes it's not even obvious what people are targeting because not everyone points. They just play a card, say I target this.
what was that? There is an off sleeve in Mackenzie's deck. Oh, I think did he shuffle his rat tokens in?
Oh yeah, somebody.
Yeah,
ask him
go
if he shuffled his rat tokens
grab
in.
that. He shuffled his rat tokens into his deck.
Good job, Mackenzie. Just takes the deck.
The standard Mackenzie answer of "What do you want? Go
Yeah.
away."
Yeah,
Playing the magic.
yeah. What do you want? And then he's just like, oh.
Yeah.
And you see Mackenzie saw the Blood Baron there, so Devour Flesh is now in his hand.
Yeah.
He made sure that he has those now. Hey, look, Mutavault.
Look, Nazis.
I was gonna say, I really hope Nick did not keep a double Mutavault hand with
That
no
would be
other mana.
so bad. If Mackenzie has turn 2 pack rat again here, though, he could be in kind of good shape.
Well, the problem is that there's 2 answers to the pack rat plan in hand, right? So
There is that. But I mean, he just takes the D-Sphere.
if he's planning to pack rat, he takes the D-Sphere and he can't cast the Verdict yet. But any other plan, and I think you just take Elspeth.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Take the kill condition. There's people watching us, says Nick. Trying to invoke what happened to poor Colin Healy during our modern GPT one time. Before Colin went in for his feature match in the finals, he made the mistake of looking at how many people were watching. There were 230-something people watching at that time. Colin was a nervous wreck during the finals.
And I would imagine here comes a pack rat. Nope, just
Nope,
a duress.
Just some more hand disruption. Looks like
I think
another
now you
land.
take the Elspeth.
Another land got added.
And a white source.
It's a white source with that.
Chill go.
Nick could be in really bad shape here if Mackenzie's got just one more hand disruption spell.
Well, he'd be left on air. He'd have nothing.
I'd take the verdict if he does have pack rat in his hand.
If he had Packers in his hand, it would be on the board.
Or maybe he's trying to disrupt a few more before he lays the pack rat.
Alright. Verdict gets taken.
A little lead yourself a few more turns before you have to draw something to deal with the...
I'm pretty sure Mackenzie is just trying to exhaust Nick of all answers. And then play something like a Night Veil Spectre that can sit on the board.
Yeah.
Sphinx's Revelation was the draw for Nick.
That'll help.
That might help. Not sure what that card is, but it looks like he's thinking about shipping it.
I think this clock is about to accelerate, though.
Hey, look, a swamp. That's convenient because I don't think Mackenzie had another
land.
So that works perfectly.
Oh, look what's in his hand. He can like.
Nick needs to, you know, take 2 damage from that Night Veil as well.
Yeah. Tell him to take his 2 damage.
Oh, never mind.
It's done. Mackenzie's got him.
Going back.
Mackenzie's got it back.
Mackenzie's just making sure he wins.
Yeah, Mackenzie's just like, you're not getting me that way. Okay, now there's a big data demon on the board. And Nick is in all kinds of trouble.
He's in a rough spot here. I mean, he's taken 8 again now this turn. There's the 5th land with the Grey Merchant in hand for another pile of
7.
damage.
His only counterspell in hand is a negate.
Takes an island. Are we going to see the old Gary?
Yeah.
Boom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is in.
Nick is at 3.
Needs to untap and draw a verdict.
Oh! Master of the top decks right
Yeah.
here.
There is a Larry Bouzan style Miracle Supreme verdict. And make sure Nick remembers to play his land.
Yeah, doing that now.
There you go. Does Mackenzie have another Grey Merchant? No, he has
He's
2
got
Devour
2
Flesh.
Devour Fleshes.
Uh-oh. That's not good, because Nick can now just jam an Elspeth.
Jam the Elspeth
Yep.
on the board.
Uh-oh.
And now it's reversed. Mackenzie's in a world of hurt
Yeah.
Draw
due to
a
the
swamp.
Yeah,
most
he is.
timely verdict of all time.
Yeah. Hashtag Larry Bouzan luck.
Can you check how many people are watching now?
Alright, so Larry Bouzan has been made proud by Mr. Nick Collins here.
And you see Mackenzie just drawing lands every turn.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is his last turn to play the game.
Yeah.
Because
See, now Nick gets to untap. He's got a Revelation in
he
his
just
hand.
swings and revs, and that's game.
Yeah. The game is over, basically, right now. He's not even going to rev. He's just attacking. He's just saying, get at you for 10.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm playing control.
Up the Elspeth. Here's some bros. Here's the demon. Guess what Nick does not care about?
Probably that
Take
demon.
3 dudes, and second guy, and
I mean,
kill Mackenzie.
Ultimate the Elspeth.
Or ult.
Emblem. Animate Vaults. You are extremely dead.
Yeah.
Mackenzie's like, blocking me.
Even if Mackenzie sacrifices a demon to his Devour Flesh. Like, he blocks a Mutavault, he Devour Fleshes himself,
Well, the 6 still kill him.
and Devour Flesh you. So Nick sacrifices 1 dude,
Sacrifice 3 damage.
so he goes to 16. Mutavault's blocked, but it's still 4, 18. It's still he's still very
Nice
dead.
is dead on the next turn.
Yeah, no. There is no calculation needed. Nick is going to take down the game and match, so what a huge top deck from Nick.
That was a top deck
The
victory
truest
for sure.
of miracle draws. And Mackenzie is a little bit salty, I think, about that. But, you know what?
Well, I mean, he doesn't draw one of the last 3 verdicts in his deck. He loses the game on the spot.
Yeah, he needed exactly that. Nothing else keeps him in that game.
We're splitting prod. We're gonna draw pauses, but can we still stream?
You can still play out the finals if you want to, yeah, just for
We're gonna draw
champion, yeah.
Alright, cool.
The grease. You see the grease?
Exactly.